Hi YouTube and welcome back to my Let's Play World of Warcraft with the Warlords of Draenor expansion. Alright, so we are back at my garrison and just kind of getting ready to continue doing some more things. I think I was spending some time here just kind of reading. Okay, so we're building our barracks is the first building, and where later on you end up getting a choice of different buildings that you can build and different building sizes. And there'll be small buildings, medium buildings, large buildings, and there'll be a choice of you won't be able to build all of them, but you'll be able to make a choice in terms of the best buildings for the garrison that fits your character, class, play style, professions, etc. So for example, you can build an alchemy lab if you happen to be an alchemist, that kind of thing. So, but the barracks is sort of like the default, everyone gets one, and it kind of shows you how the process works in terms of building the buildings. So one, you have to have a plan, and you have to learn the plan. And then you go to the map here, and you've got these little info things that I don't bother reading. And then here is here's your selection of spots, and you have a small plot and a medium plot, but the barracks only fits on the medium plot. Oh, sorry, the large plot. And right now you're like, by default, you can only put it there. But as you level up your garrison over time, you'll have more plots of things and have more choice of where you want to build it and how you want to lay out your garrison. And then the final step here is you have to come there and click on the kind of like the deed, and then boom, you have a level 1 barracks, which is kind of cool. I love these new graphics when you encounter certain new things in the game, and you've got the big text across the page like we just saw with the barracks. I don't know. I think that adds a little something to the game. And things. And the great thing with the garrison, you'll notice that there was a little red horde flag that I dragged into my toolbar down there, and you'll see this. I don't know if you'll see this in this episode or not, but you will see this at some point where I'll click on it, and what happens is that I get reinforcements from my barracks as long as I'm in this particular zone in Draenor, and they will come instantly and help me fight. And they do some pretty decent damage too, so they're actually very, very useful. So if I happen to be facing up against a kind of a boss level NPC, and I'm playing by myself and there doesn't happen to be anyone around at the time, I can bring those guys in and they can help me attack the thing and give me a better chance of beating it by myself. Oh yes, so I've got an innkeeper here as well, and so I guess I was sitting here kind of like looking through all my items and things, like, do I have things I can sell? So I'm going to not edit out some of this stuff. I was editing a lot of this out when I was doing things with my dungeon runs, but here I'm actually like, this is just me playing the game and leveling up to 100, and part of that includes me sitting around. And I mean, now obviously if I sat around and did this for like an hour, which I sometimes do, I won't include all of that. But if I'm just kind of doing a quick little thing here, a few minutes of just kind of looking through my inventory and kind of looking through my equipment and just kind of checking all the different stats out, so you can kind of see the different stats I'm looking at, and the choices I'm making, and you can even see some of the stupid choices that I'm making, and you might be screaming at yourself like, why did you choose that? Mastery is the wrong thing. You want expertise or whatever it is. You know, I haven't figured all that out yet. I'm just leveling at this point, and I'm not really paying that much attention to stats. And I kind of know what the good stats and the bad stats were for before Warlords of Draenor came out. I know that they've done a lot of changes and switching around, and the classes have been altered and tweaked and all this kind of stuff, and stats have been squished and this and that and the other. And so I don't know necessarily what all of the right stats should be for my class at this point. And to be perfectly honest, as you're leveling your character, I honestly don't believe it really matters all that much, because you change your equipment like every half a level practically, as you get drops and quest rewards and that kind of thing. And then, you know, on top of that, it's just, you know, once you get to the max level cap of the current expansion, which is going to be 100 at this point, that's when, you know, really understanding your stats, really understanding your class, you know, making wise choices in terms of the stats of your armor, gems if you're equipping gems, glyphs if you're doing glyphs, and I don't even know, are glyphs even a thing anymore? I think they got rid of glyphs, to be perfectly honest. But just making sure you're choosing the right things for your particular class. And I happen to be using, not only am I a paladin, but I'm a retribution paladin, trying to do, you know, just high DPS as much as I can. And despite me always choosing as high DPS a class as possible and equipping all the best stuff as I can personally get my fingers on, I generally am still always lagging behind someone else in DPS stats. And I don't know, you know, it's probably because I'm just being an idiot more than anything else. So, you know, as I'm leveling and things, if you guys see me making really stupid choices on things, you know, just let me know. That would be good. Alright, so we're back into the action now. And so right now we're going to go ahead, we're going to rescue one of our folks. He actually helped Thrall earlier, helped me defeat the kind of the head Ogron, or not Ogron, Gronling. The kind of the lead Gronling in the area that we were trying to get rid of the Gronling so that we could build the garrison. And so Olin, whatever his name is, and Thrall helped me defeat the guy, but then Olin went out scouting and got himself into a bit of a mess, into a bit of a problem. And so he's up in here somewhere, and we gotta rescue him. And he becomes one of our followers. So that's another new thing with Warlords of Draenor. So besides the garrisons, you also get followers now. And the followers are all going to be NPCs. And these guys you can send out to do quests for you. No, there's the cave. There he is. You can send them out to do quests. So they can be going out and doing quests for you. And you get garrison resources if they win and that kind of thing. Initially, the whole thing's, you know, pretty straightforward, but in the future, as you get more and more followers, and you get different, you know, kind of like follow requests and things, what ends up happening is you have to start making choices. You have to start making decisions in terms of who to send on which quest. You can't just send in just anybody. I mean, you can. But that doesn't guarantee success. It'll actually show you, you know, what chance of success there is of them succeeding in that quest, and that kind of thing. And there's also going to be times when you get to pair up like 2 or 3 followers at the same time for a quest. And then depending on how you're combining your followers will determine the success of the quest. And if you're missing a particular talent in your group of followers, then you know you may not find a good mix initially.
Blood and thunder.
So it's all it's yet another interesting element to the game, which I kind of really like. So here we go. We've got that turned in. So the next thing to do is to assign our new follower, and here's the new menu. You can kind of see what it does. Gronlings Abound is the first quest, and these are just little tooltips to kind of help you get familiar with the new kind of quest system. Garrison missions, that's what they're called. So anyway, so here you can see I drag and drop my follower into the mission, and he's just gonna go off and do it. But you know, I have one mission and one follower. It's, you know, it kind of makes sense. But later on, again, it's going to get a little bit more complicated and that kind of thing. Alright, so we got past that. And we still have some time left, so we're going to go ahead and kind of get into the next quest chain. Oh, and there's another quest to pick up there. So I guess we'll go talk to this guy. So we've done as much as we can with the garrison at this point. So we need to kind of venture forth and kind of get into some other things. So we're going to take this guy and do a flight. And we got this kind of two-headed... I have no idea what this thing is. But gonna fly, and I think Thrall and one other guy, they're coming with me, as you can see. And we're going to Wargle, I believe, is the next stop, and then from there assaulting the Bladespire Tower. So that's kind of the next thing on our agenda. We're not going to complete the Bladespire quests all today. There's just too much of it. That will definitely spill over into the next episode. So just FYI. And that's basically as far as I've played so far, is up until we've had once we've secured the Bladespire Tower, that's as far as I've gotten. So I haven't played that much. I've gotten a lot of episodes out of just the little bit I've played so far. So you can imagine I'm gonna have a lot of more episodes to be posting. With the Thanksgiving holiday coming up, I probably will have more time to play, and I'll probably post more episodes of this. I will also be posting some walkthrough videos of some additional homes I've been building in The Sims 4. So if you're also a Sims fan, look forward to those. I'm really loving the house building options in The Sims 4. I know I've got a couple of series that I kind of started with some families and characters and stuff in The Sims 4, and I've kind of lost a little bit of interest in playing them because I like building the houses more. So, regardless, I'm just kind of doing the house thing right now, and I might get back to the families and stuff later at some point. And then, in addition to that, I have had a request of doing some more Ion, and so to that end, I actually played some Ion yesterday, and I still have to edit all of that together, and then do my voiceovers and things. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, I always edit first and do voiceover later. I don't do live voiceovers. I could not get around avoiding the keyboard strokes on my audio, and that's number one reason why I don't do a live commentary. And number two is because now I'm not doing it with this particular series, but with most of my series I do a lot of editing first. I cut out whole sections of action. And it's much more difficult to do that if you have live commentary and you're like, well, you know, I was talking about this, I want to cut this out, but I really want people to hear what I have to say here, so what do I do? So it's just easier for me to edit first and then do the commentary. And since that's how I do it for a lot of my videos, even ones that are not highly edited like these are, I'm just more comfortable with that. Alright, so here the first thing we're doing is we're getting a blessing from this stone, and I was like, okay, is there anything else I have to do? It's still glowing, is that it? Am I done with that? I think I ended up doing this a couple of times. Like, oh, let's get doubly blessed. And then it's like, oh, okay, here we go. We have to talk to him after the blessing. So we've got a number of things to do here in Wargle, and we'll tie those up, and then start the Bladespire Tower, Bladespire, whatever it is, quests with the next episode. Just because there's just too much content all at once. And since I'm not really doing a lot of editing, and oh yes, here I am like, okay, you'll see me just kind of running around confused for a minute or two, because I'm like, where is this person I'm supposed to talk to? They're over here somewhere. Yeah, so you can see how easily confused, dazed and confused I can get sometimes. I'm like, okay, I can see the thing on the map, I can walk over there, and I can go up over here. They're around here somewhere. Where are they? I'm like right on top of the circle, but I don't see them.
His blood burns too hot.
Yeah, it turns out she's right below this rock ledge that I'm on, but it's like, I didn't see her the last time, and I'm like, I wasn't paying close enough attention, because, you know, looking back at this footage, I'm like, oh, now I see her. I actually see her sooner now than I did before, and I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, and I decided to talk to him just to talk to him. So I go back up here. There's something I'm missing. What's going on? She's not here. She's not any one of these people. What's going on? Oh, there she is. Oh, duh. Alright, so she blows the horn. And then we go back down and talk to Thrall and company and head out towards Bladespire. And that's going to wrap things up for this episode, and we will then continue the next time. I was gonna say next week, but you know, I might be posting more of these. I'm hoping to get a bunch of footage over the next few days, and possibly set up several videos so that I can kind of edit them and export them, and then, you know, I'll post them as I get time. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, please like, please share, please subscribe. I appreciate everyone who follows me, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.